dry. Do you know I'm looking, and I can't help but smile? Do you know how much I love you? You put my favorite song on, I put my feet up, and we just sing along, and I can't help but feeling, just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know that I would? 'Cause I'm just loving this moment. Can we stay here forever?
Well, me and Cyrus have been up for a bit. I had a really bad migraine this morning, so it's taking me a little bit of time to get around and do some things. He's playing in his little walker. Cyrus! Hi! Hi, baby. Here he comes. Say, watch out for Daddy's hunting boots. I have some chicken defrosting in the sink, and I'm going to probably make some sort of like chicken taco. I'm not really sure yet. You'll find out later in this video. But I think I'm going to end up posting this video later in the week, and I'm gonna do meals for this week, and I hope y'all enjoy them. I hope they're spectacular. I hope you try them, and just let me know if you do, and let me know if they taste amazing as what my family thinks.
Forever, I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here forever?
Wow!
This moment. Can we stay here forever? I'm loving this moment. Can we stay here together? If I could stop the time, don't you know I would? 'Cause
Alright, so I'm gonna make like the super easiest meal ever, pretty much. Most of the stuff goes in the microwave because they're in steamer packs. Like this veggie spirals, and then this broccoli and cauliflower, and both of them will just pop them into the microwave. This one goes for 6 minutes in the microwave for my microwave. And it's supposed to just stand it up in there. It'll probably fall over. 6 minutes. So while that, so we're gonna go ahead and chop up the meat. Let me get my knife, put it over here. I'm gonna bring y'all in. It already fell. Bring y'all in a little closer. I might as well just sit you on the stove. Alright, so here's our chicken. We're gonna use chicken for this meal. And I just like to cut it up into like little cubes. All we need is like spices for the chicken. I'm gonna use some garlic. Yes, I got this big thing of garlic at Costco. It was a great buy. And I'm just gonna heat up the skillet to like medium-high heat. And I'm gonna put like a tablespoon. I'm gonna put about a tablespoon of olive oil in there. And I can never get this open. Oh my gosh. Okay. And when I say a little bit of garlic, I mean about that much. We like garlic in this family, okay? Don't judge us. So this is going, so this just needs to kind of heat up. And don't worry about burning your garlic, it'll be fine. And I'm gonna just pick out some seasonings that I want with the chicken. It's gonna be like a pesto dish. So I'm gonna use some onion powder. I'm gonna use, we don't need garlic powder. I'm gonna use salt and pepper. And I think we're gonna use this. I'm gonna use this. It's the blend, it's like a garlic pepper. It's a garlic pepper and salt blend. You can get this at Costco, this size. I don't know if they sell it at Kroger or whatnot. But the butter flavor of this Kinder's is amazing. So, it's already heating up a little bit. I think that's kind of going to be the seasoning we use. Oh, I do have pepper. I thought Joseph had picked some up. I'm so glad. Oh, we'll have pepper in this too. Well, let me go ahead and open this, because I didn't know it was in my cabinet. You know, since this has garlic, it has salt in it too. Dang. Well, put it there. I'm gonna have to put extra salt in it. We don't really salt a lot of our food, to be honest anyways. The only thing I salt is like meats. Just put a little bit on there. So this is kind of coming up to temperature. Alright, we're just gonna put the chicken in. And I just season it in the pan. I know some people don't. What it is. But I'm gonna go ahead and put it in the pan real quick. And then I'm gonna go ahead and wash my hands again. Alright, so with the chicken going, we're gonna go ahead and put some onion powder in there. And then we're gonna go ahead and put some of this pepper blend. It is so good. We're just gonna wait till that starts to brown a little bit. And our veggie spirals are done. They leaked a little bit in the microwave because they fell over, like I told you they were gonna do. So, yes. So then we are going to put the other vegetables in. I'm telling you, this is like the easiest meal, and it's gonna be so delicious. You're gonna have to wait and see. But then we're going to do this broccoli and cauliflower. We're going to put this in the microwave for 6 minutes. Oh, look, my garlic's burning, like I told you that it wouldn't. But the real star of the show is this pesto sauce. And we're going to use this. It's going to be like, it's going to really marry the flavors and everything really well. Towards the end, we're gonna pop these. As soon as this gets kind of starts to cook a good bit, and starts, you know, getting to where it doesn't kill us, then we're gonna add the zucchini in. It's kind of what you want to see. It's kind of just all started to be kind of brown, kind of goldish brown. And when that is done, we're gonna toss these zucchini spirals in. Just some little spirals, and I kind of want to get some of that moisture out too. So if you heat it up in the pan like this, some of the moisture will, like, you know, evaporate. Looking delicious. This is a very protein-packed, veggie-packed meal. And this is going to be so good. Okay, so our broccoli and cauliflower are done. I know this is done. So you just get your pesto sauce, and I'm probably gonna use a good bit of this because it's been in my fridge for a bit, and so you might as well. And it's gonna be good. Okay. And we're just gonna kind of stir that in. Oh, that looks so good. And I'm just gonna save, like, I know this only has like a tablespoon left in it, but I'm gonna put it on some chicken, probably this week. And that's really it. That took us like no time at all. It probably took us 20 minutes at most. And most of it was just because of the microwave and doing the that in there, but it's gonna be, I mean, it's so good. I can't. I'm literally just gonna use a little bit of mozzarella cheese, like shredded mozzarella cheese, just on top. Isn't that delicious? This was so easy to make. It's one of our favorite go-to meals. Anything with like pesto sauce, it makes the meals so good and like little work if you just buy a jar of it. This week is a cashew broccoli chicken meal. I've been really wanting some Asian inspired food, so I was like, this would be perfect. It's healthy and you can put it over a bed of cauliflower rice, which I might do. And we're also going to have some miso soup. I just bought this little package of miso. So I have all the stuff we need to make this dish laid out. I'm trying to get better at like getting everything out before. So we'll need some olive oil. We're gonna need some sesame seeds. I don't have sesame seeds, so I'm gonna substitute for this everything bagel seasoning, minced garlic, cashews, soy sauce, pepper, ginger, sriracha sauce. I have 2 things of frozen broccoli. I think that they used fresh, but I'm gonna use frozen because that's what I have on hand. Work with what you have. That's all I can tell you. So if you don't have something, substitute it with another thing. You know, everything's gonna be great. And then I have 2 chicken breasts right here. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna make the sauce. So I'm gonna need 2 tablespoons. I said I had everything ready, but I lied because I didn't have any measurement stuff over here. We're gonna need 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. I always get the light soy sauce, and I think that that's actually what they used in this recipe as well. It's just a little bit less low sodium, because you don't need all that. So we're gonna use 2 tablespoons of soy sauce. I only measure certain things, but soy sauce is one of the things I feel like you should measure because it can really go overboard quick. And then I'm going to need a teaspoon of sriracha sauce. So I'm just going to put some in there. And then we have 2 cloves of garlic. Get a spoon real quick. Here it goes. It says 2. I'm just going to put about, I don't know, this much. That seems good. And then it says a half a teaspoon of ground ginger. I'm just gonna estimate. Looks about right. And then we're gonna use some black pepper. It says 1/4 of a teaspoon. I'm just gonna, that looks fine to me. And I'll show you what it looks like. And this is literally just the sauce for the, like whenever we actually make up the chicken, this is what we're gonna put on it. It looks really good actually. It smells really good. So the sauce is done. That was very easy. And we're done with half the ingredients now. This is supposed to be like a really easy dish. So we'll test that out. All right, next we're gonna do is I'm just gonna go ahead and put this broccoli in the microwave. It says to place it in a, I guess, you know what? I'm just gonna put it on the stove. We'll put it on the stove with a chicken whenever we get to it. I think that will probably be easier for everyone. All right, so for the chicken, I'm just gonna cut it up. It doesn't say to season the chicken with anything, but I'm going to, because I'm not a maniac and I like to season chicken. I don't think that people, yeah. I'm just gonna season it with salt and pepper. But it says to cut it into little cubes. So that's what we're gonna do.
Something knocked you out. You felt your limitations and filled your mind with doubt. You wanna stay chill right now and don't let your eyes off the prize. I know you want it.
Alright, I'm gonna go ahead and season this with some garlic powder and pepper. I'm very generous with my seasonings, as you can tell. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and add 1 bag of the broccoli in here. And to be honest, I kind of want to just go ahead and add it, because the recipe actually says to add them in at the exact same time, and that was for fresh broccoli, so I just went ahead and added it in. And I just don't know if I should add the other broccoli in, because this looks like it's a lot. So I decided to only add 1 thing in the broccoli because I think that is plenty. It's a lot of food in there. And all I have to do is let this get cooked up. Like the broccoli needs to be tender and the chicken needs to be cooked through. I decided to go ahead and make like a little bit more sauce because I think it would be really good if I made this cashew chicken and then put it over this cauliflower rice. So I think I'm gonna do that, and you can just pop the cauliflower rice in the microwave and it'll cook in there for 6 minutes. But I did make a double recipe of the sauce. So I just semi-covered it. The pan's all wonky, so it wouldn't have fit anyways, even with the spoon. I need to buy new pans. Just ignore it, okay? I just decided to cover up just to help the broccoli steam a little bit better. And then I am going to drain it, I think, before I put the sauce in, because then I think it's going to be way too soupy. So I've decided to drain it afterwards. Great. So I drained the mixture, and now I'm going to just put the sauce. Is that what I'm supposed to do? I've never made this before, obviously. It says pour sauce over chicken, decrease to medium low. Like I said, I've doubled the recipe, so I'm only going to put half the mixture in. I'm just going to guess on it. Oh, it's good. And then I'm just going to stir. And then it says to put the cashews in. It actually says to put 1/4 of a cup. No, I probably have about half a cup. I mean, this looks really good. All right, I'll show y'all. Like, it looks good. So to plate this up, I'm just going to use a couple of little heapings of this cauliflower rice on the bottom of my bowl. And then I'm going to use some of this sauce to put over, like just about a tablespoon maybe of sauce. Put over it. That was so good. Okay. And then I'm gonna use, I'm just gonna eat a little bit of this. I want a lot of just vegetables, like a lot of the broccoli. I mean, that looks so good. And then I'm just going to top it off with some everything bagel seasoning. And that looks so delicious. Look how good that looks. Update on the chicken, the cashew chicken recipe. It is delicious. Highly recommend putting it over some cauliflower rice if you're trying to be a little bit more healthy. If not, you can use regular white rice. I would actually use a little bit more sriracha sauce, but just because I like things spicy, I would just put it over my own food personally, because I know Joseph doesn't really like things as spicy. And then I was gonna make this miso soup on this side, and I still might if I am a little bit hungry, because I'm only gonna eat this bowl and I'm gonna save the rest for later. But it is delicious. Like 10 out of 10, would recommend. Will definitely make this meal again. It was so good. Alright, so I just got off work and we're gonna have sliders tonight. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and prep a few things. The baby is with my mom right now, so I have a little bit of time to get a few things done around the house. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and start cutting up these onions. I'm gonna do caramelized onions on top of the sliders. It's gonna be so good. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm gonna go ahead and chop these bad boys up. All right, so I got a dull knife, so be careful. Butter here. I think I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons. I'm going to go ahead and turn my skillet on. We're just going to let this get down, start to kind of bubble a little bit, and then we're going to throw our onions in. I did 2 onions because caramelized onions really shrink down. So I thought that'd be best, since they shrank down so much, I'd go ahead and do 2 onions, even though this is literally only for 4 mini sliders. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put our onions in, because the butter's melting pretty quickly. I'm just gonna go through and kind of break the onions apart a little bit. I'll do that with a spoon as well. It's gonna be so good. The reason why I decided on sliders today is because I was looking at a recipe online and I saw that they had caramelized onions on there. So I'm like, you know what, that sounds so good right now. So I'm like, you know what, I'll caramelize in some onions and I'll have some sliders. You're just gonna stir these ever so often just to keep them from getting burned. We want to brown them, we don't want to burn them. And I have this going at about 300. And since we don't actually use regular buns, we don't use regular buns, I'm actually using low carb bread. It's the Sola bread. You can find them in the freezer section at like Kroger. And I just cut them up, and we're just gonna put cute little mini patties on these. It's gonna be adorable. I don't know why. I didn't want like a patty melt. I wanted sliders. I don't know why. I really wanted sliders, so I'm gonna make 8 little bitty baby burgers to cook, and then I'm going to bake it. I'm actually gonna bake the sliders in the oven. So we're gonna go ahead and get started on the meat. So I have 1 pound of deer meat here, and I'm gonna put a little bit of Worcestershire sauce in. Deer meat pretty much tastes the exact same thing as like beef, but we would use, or you can use ground turkey. We would use ground turkey if we did not have deer meat. And then I'm gonna put the blend. It's the Kinder's brand, and it just has salt, pepper, and garlic, and I think that's all. Yeah. So we're just gonna put a little bit of that in. That's all the seasonings I would be using if I was gonna put them in individually. And then I'm going to just work that in with my hands. Alright, so the meatballs are done. They're cute little, I say meatballs, but it's meat in the shape of a ball, so I guess it is. They're done. And so I did 8 of them because we have 4 little sliders per person. So I'm going to just put those to the side, and I'm actually going to make those right after I get these onions out, which they are pretty much done. So I'm about to take them off the skillet. They're looking really good. So I'm about to take them off and put them to the side. And then I have a bunch of leftover meat. I'm just going to make these into big patties, and we can just eat them later in the week. So as soon as I get done doing that, I'm going to go ahead and make the burgers, and then you'll skip to a later time where I'm actually making the food and like assembling it together, everything, because it's only like 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so I don't want to make it too early. So I have the meat going. I just turned them on. The skillet's hot. It had butter in it. So I'm going to add the onions. So we're just going to cook them a couple of minutes on each side, kind of going around, just like how you cook meatballs.
Life is a winding road, no telling where it goes. Driving through days and nights.
So now that I flipped them all over, I'm going to go ahead and cover it, and the middle of them will cook, and I'll steam the burgers a little bit. So the little burgers are done, the little slider burgers. They look really good. I'm going to go ahead and put them in here, and then I think I'm going to put all of it in the refrigerator until I get ready to actually cook. Put it in the oven and actually cook the meal. So we have our buns, and like I said, I cut them into little 4s, like little cubes. And I put the cheese down. I probably put about 1/4 of a cup of cheese on each pieces of bread. I'm going to put the caramelized onions on the very bottom. And then we'll have some left over for later if we'd like to have them. I mean, I'm going to put a whole bunch on because caramelized onions are amazing. And then I'm just going to go get each little burger.
Times were crashing down, but we get up and start from the ground. And I really wanna know, if
And then all I have to do is put it in the oven later, and everything is already fixed. Our supper is ready to go. And the bread actually goes in the freezer or the fridge anyways, so it's not gonna affect the bread at all. Alright, so pretty much supper is ready. I am going to show y'all whenever it gets done. I'm going to show y'all the side that we're having because you're really going to like that as well. It's very healthy, but it definitely goes around with burgers. Alright, so this is going to be our side for tonight. They're veggie fries. They're made with cauliflower. They look good. They look like, you know, keto fries. We've had them before. And the serving size is 11 fries, so it's pretty good. And there's like 4 servings in here. So I'm not going to make Joseph's yet because he's not home. So I'm going to put this in the air fryer, and it's going to air fry for about like 12 minutes. I'm also preheating the oven to 350. I'm going to just pop these in. I'm going to go ahead and heat up Joseph's, and then he can reheat it up if he needs to. But yeah, I'm going to put these in the oven, and I'll probably put them in just till the cheese starts getting really nice and melty. Probably about 10 minutes or so. The fries are extra crispy. They look really good. And I'm just going to eat them. You can eat them with whatever condiment. Sometimes I've topped them with like cheese and like jalapenos and sour cream and pico and all that. I'm just going to eat them plain today. So this is what we're having for supper tonight. Just cauliflower fries, which is so easy to make. You can just make it in the air fryer, or you can make it in the oven till it gets good and crispy. I put mine on for about 15 minutes. And then the oven just alarmed, so let's go check on that. Well, thank you for watching. That was the video. Subscribe, share, like, comment below. Tell me what your favorite thing about the video was. Tell me what recipe you are dying to try. Everything was so delicious. I cannot wait for you to try one and just be as super satisfied as I was. Thank y'all.